Hello and good news everyone, this is Frontend News Channel and today we have something very special for you as we will be going through top design trends for 2022. So stay tuned and let's roll intro. Okay, so the first design trend that we'll be talking about is obviously the metaverse. We cannot talk about any trends without talking about the metaverse. Recently, after Facebook announced that they will be changing their name from Facebook to Metaverse, the world simply blew up and everyone now is talking about what metaverse means for basically anyone at this very moment. So we have, for example, Snoop Dogg into Metaverse now, and you can buy yourself a house next to his house in Metaverse for only $450,000, if I recall correctly. Another thing, as any other actually company is working on Metaverse. So I don't know if we'll be seeing positions like Metaverse designer, but I am certain that we'll be seeing some of jobs regarding designing the metaverse. So certainly something to stay tuned for and keep an eye on. And the second design trend is, well, rest in peace scrolling. Right now, the story scrolling will be a thing, which basically means that storytelling is coming by storm to the design. Working with copywriters will be more important than ever, and we could actually see this for the couple of months lately, or even years. But not so much as it will probably be this year. So there are coming a lot of WordPress templates that involve storytelling, a lot of animations, something that we'll also be talking about that will involve storytelling, and just implementing storytelling into your design is something that you should certainly keep in mind for the rest of this year and probably next years. So the third design trend is brands in motion, basically motion design. So what does it mean? It means basically that still images aren't so interesting anymore and we need something more, something new. And designing in motion is a thing that will be happening this year. You will be seeing it probably outdoors, looking at some those TV shows, sort of posters that will be actually motion designs, something that you should also consider when you are planning your next year's campaigns or your next year's designs. Another great design trend for the next year is that serif fonts are making a comeback. There was a little bit of overuse of sans serif fonts lately past year, even maybe a couple of years. So it's not that we'll be not seeing any sans serif fonts anymore, but we'll certainly use more serif fonts through this next year. Even handwritten, sometimes fonts might come back, might be interesting for you, but serif fonts is something that you should also keep your mind on, because, when everybody is using sans serif fonts, then maybe it's time for you to change it to serif fonts and just maybe be one of the first to do so. It's an interesting topic regarding typography, so if you have any work regarding typography, you should keep in mind that maybe it's time to switch to serif fonts. Okay, and data, but basically users love data, so make data lovable is a topic that is called on UX Planet, and this is something that actually we are doing every now and then. There is absolutely no UX UI designer that didn't have this project that client came in with something that looks like an Excel file, and he said that he wants it to not look like Excel and be more user friendly. So we are working with him, and in the end what the client gets is again Excel file. Yeah, that's kind of the circle of life of designer. But again, the people actually will care more about data, so you should keep in mind that and make those data more friendly, more useful for the users. Try to keep it mostly clean. But information architecture will be certainly important topic regarding data. So regarding displaying data, show facts and test it, ask users what do they want to know first, and this topic, there will be more and more apps that will involve data, and more people are actually interested in that than before. So probably most of the apps will now try to come up with some kind of like displaying data to make it interesting for the user. Maybe some sharing those data, like what should we share. It's easy, for example, in running app. But if you have some business app, then maybe it's time to think about how to share and what to share regarding data. And yet another thing is that we will now be focusing more and more about desktop, not only applications but also web design. Because when we look sometimes at how we are designing things lately, was that of course there is a mobile first approach, but we were focused more on mobile since there were more and more people using smartphones while browsing. But this also is quite maybe not changing. The trend is still that the smartphones are getting more and more like space in this topic, but designing for desktop will be something that we'll be keeping eye out for this year more and more, because as I said, we were kind of like leaving it behind. Right now, we will be taking care of it, making it more user-friendly and not look like someone just designed it for mobile and just kind of switch it later to desktop without thinking about how to actually, use the space that desktop is giving you, the space that you don't have in mobile apps. But then again, regarding graphic design, brutal design might be a thing this year, so we will be returning the flat design this year, probably something also to keep an eye out. Some people are already using it, and this is the trend that actually started in 2021, but it's on the rise. This will be kind of a counter trend to all the gradients, shadows and elevations that we actually used lately, and it's time to just get familiar maybe with the flat design. It will be contrasting colors, bold fonts, and a little bit of strong outlines from time to time. But yet again, with this type of design, you must be actually careful to not create something that looks silly or funny. So definitely something that we should maybe keep an eye out this year and maybe use, but use it smart. So brutal design, flat design, something that will be present in our lives this year. And last but not least, controversial topic to say the least, NFTs and democratization of art, as they say it in the internet. The NFTs are like the biggest trend right now. I think this is really trending. Like everybody wants to have their own NFTs. Like for example, Eminem bought ape NFTs for like few $100,000, and video game industry is releasing NFTs, and it's something that gives you a possibility of earning money, and you can sell a piece of art for some money that will be just like kind of individual for one man. So this is something that maybe at some point you might think of like for example, buying an art. When you buy a painting that was painted by, for example, Salvador Dali, I don't think you can buy it, but let's just say for the purpose of this topic that you can. So when you're buying actually like Dali's painting, then you can, it's the only painting that he painted, like it's one of a kind. There's no other like it, but there might be copies, but it's the original. We have this one. So NFTs is something similar like to that you have this only one copy of, for example, an illustration or something like this. This is only one. It cannot be copied or something. This is the original, and it's basically yours. I don't know if you could just maybe hang it in Metaverse if you had it, but basically it's like you own something that is very unique, and that's not only very unique, it's simply unique. It's the only copy of it, like sort of, it's the only original thing. So you have it, it's yours, and then maybe you can sell it furthermore for more money. Basically, like you buy art cheaper, sell it more expensive if you earn money, but that way it's also possible. So NFTs. Now, this is something that I think is not only the trend for the next year, but this is something that might or might not be a thing. Like basically, it will either be huge and people will start buying it, or it will simply turn out to be just a scam or something. Okay, so those were just a few of design trends that are coming to 2022. There's like a lot of them, and not all of them will be a thing. It's something that is trending right now. Will it be trending later on, like flat design? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Hard to tell. But this is something that actually is for now trending as user experience, user interface, or graphic design. Something that at this very moment is a thing that is interesting people on the internet. So we will be watching out for that here at Front End House to see if any of those trends are actually we're able maybe to use to work and help our clients. So thank you very much for today. And remember that we upload videos every Friday, so keep an eye for those. This will be no new content every week. And for any front-end design or just IT related stuff, stay here with us at Front End House.